we all got Jack Russells. It doesn't have to be a Jack Russell, it could be a border or whatever you got that goes in the ground, any kind of terrier. It all works the same. First thing you're going to need, though, is a good dog. Okay? You're going to need any kind of Jack Russell, whatever you got. That's got some drive, that wants to go and enter the earth. They're going to be wanting to wear a collar. You never want to go hunting without a collar on. Hunting collar, you know what these are? The Devons. She's got a Devon on. A Devon LRT, it's called. They're going to do the demonstration on them in a little bit.
To locate it, right?
Locator collar. Yeah, you want to have that. You don't want to ever go out. I mean, there's going to be accidents where you don't have one on. The dog goes in the hole. You're going to have to know how to find it. But we're not going to talk about that right now. But anytime you go out hunting, make sure you got one of these on your dog. That's live. You got fresh batteries and all that other stuff. First thing, like I said, you need a good dog. Second thing you're going to need is a shovel. If they're going to be in the ground, and they're going to stay there, you're going to want to dig them out. There's a lot of different kinds of shovels that you can use. You can buy them anywhere. Whatever's your favorite shovel for digging dirt, that's what you're going to want to use. I've got a couple up here. If you want to look at them later, go ahead. This is the gaff. I use this a lot. It cuts through roots, cuts through hard clay, it'll cut through rock. It's light, it's 8 pounds. It won't wear you out. It's whatever you're comfortable using. Like, make sure you have something that's got a little bit of edge on it too. I think you read that in the True Grit, how you can sharpen these things. Make sure you got a little sharp edge on it. Feel that, Michael?
Shave with that.
Yeah. Well, in the long run, that's going to help you. It's going to help you get through.
You have to sharpen them so often?
Pardon?
You have to sharpen them, they dull.
We're going to show you that. I'll show you that in a little bit towards the end. I'll show you how we do that. Everyone's got their own ways. You got to invent your own ways, but I'm just going to give you a few pointers, stuff that I do. Everyone's going to be different. I'm just going to try to be a little helpful, tell you what I do and what Michael does. Another thing I always hunt with, you're going to be out in briars, brush. I try to wear some kind of protection, some kind of bibs. It'll help you in the long run. You'll figure it out. Once you're out there, you'll figure out what you want to wear. Try to bring some rain gear too. When the dog goes in the ground, you're not going to go home because you ain't got no rain gear. Bring it with you. What else we got? Good boots. You want to have a good pair of boots, waterproof boots. If you're out in the conditions, you got to be prepared. What else we got? Well, this is a hunting lead. I don't use this to tie her out because she'll bite through it. I use these right here. Them are the nails with just some welded heads on there with. There's all different kinds of tie-outs. We have some in our raffle here. Make sure you have one of them too. If you have a couple dogs along, you're going to want to tie one out. While they watch. See them like pass them around or whatever they can look at them.
Pass them around, take a look.
These are the bars. Okay, there's different types of bars. Any kind of bar you're going to get, it's going to be pretty much homemade. You can buy some at the store. Go ahead.
This just a little hose that you.
Yeah, that's
really
like a
tight.
water hose or carburetor hose.
Right.
I'll show you the whole point of that.
Yeah, I know what the point is. I was
Yeah,
wondering
it's just a
what
hose.
it was.
Yeah. And you uncoil that, you stick it in the ground, and you tie one into your dog. There's different ways you can make them. That's just an idea. I want you to see
Right.
that. You
Simple.
just gotta be
Easier
creative.
than having somebody
You gotta
weld
be
it
creative,
in.
and you'll figure something out. You can use these too, and for them, and tie them around a tree. That's what these are made for. But like I say,
They'll
some
eat 'em
terriers
up.
bite through them.
In the back.
Bars, like I say, mostly good bars. You can buy them at Home Depot or whatever, but you can't buy anything like this at Home Depot. You're gonna have to make something like this. This is a bar. It'll get through some thicker stuff. You can stop groundhogs with them. This is a probe. I use it. Goes a lot easier if you want to reach in somewhere and probe through a hole. stop a groundhog with one of these. Anything to say about bars, Mike?
Yeah, bars are really handy for helping locate. And one of the things that Ted said about the shovels, these are really good quality shovels. We'd probably recommend not going out with, an $8 Home Depot shovel.
A stamp shovel. These
Yeah.
these are what's called, sorry, these are forged shovels. The other ones are stamped.
Right. Yeah, you'll break the stamp shovels. When you really need it badly to dig in there, you're prying in a rock or tree root or something, you're probably going to break that cheap shovel. These you're not going to break. Well, not for reasonable people.
Buy a good quality shovel. It'll last a lifetime. You sharpen up and take care of it, and might save your dog something.
Can we see the back
Yeah, where
side
do you-
of your shovel? Is the shovel welded into the scoop?
No.
Yeah, turn it around. There's not a hole there where mud can clog up in there.
It's all one piece.
It's all one piece is what she's saying.
Come on up there and say that again. I'm sorry.
Is that all one piece?
This, no. You can replace the handles on it. This is my third handle on it.
Okay, you broke the handle?
It cracks and gets old. I never really broke it, but you buy one. There's rivets in here. You insert the new one. And I always, I like to mark my stuff too.
Here's a little hint. If you're gonna buy a shovel, you buy it for the lifetime. Spend the money on a good shovel. It will last you.
Yeah. The shovel head itself is one piece.
Yeah,
What about the angle? So, there's all kinds of different angles. So if you never dug a ditch. Yeah, if you never dug a ditch.
This is a good all-around shovel for digging and clearing holes. So they have shovels with a straighter blade on them, but it's going to be a little bit harder to clear holes than it will with this one. This is going to work really efficient.
You guys want to pass that around? I want to get the bucket or whatever.
Yeah,
That's the shovel I use. You can't buy that kind anymore. But
Where do you get a good shovel like that?
you can buy this right now. It's a little heavier. This you
Okay.
can buy at AM Leonard.
Okay.
This is a Jackson Pony, a Jackson 450.
Okay.
You can buy these to this day. You can buy that. You
Okay.
can't buy them, but you can buy these.
Okay.
This is the Ford shovel.
Okay.
Feel the weight on there. I don't have a step shovel to show the difference, but
Yeah, those are about twice as heavy, at least.
anything I'm missing, Mike?
No, so far so good.
I'm going to. I said we're going to get to that. That sounds good.
I'm sorry.
I got it in order.
Another digging in.
Any more questions on the shovels?
Yeah, do you use a cutting shovel and a scooping shovel, or just one shovel for both? Like some people use a cutting shovel to start it and then scoop it with a scooping
When
shovel.
I start a hole, it depends where you're at. If you locate your dog, you got 4 feet deep, you want to make a decent sized hole. Depends where you're at. You can have a couple guys. If it's thick grass, sod, real hard, I have a guy go around in a circle with this just to start the hole, get through that top layer. This really helps. It's 8 pounds, won't wear you out. You can use it for a number of different
So
things.
you bought the,
This is another thing that, this is homemade. This comes from England. This is a bulldog, a rabbiting spade.
so we had these little things we used in the mines on a rock.
Anything you find that you know is going to help you, this one had a handle on it. I cut it off and I welded them on there. So, and I make it straight up and down too, so you're not leaning over.
And this is
This is actually it's a 3/4 inch water pipe that you can buy at Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's. It's a 3/4 inch galvanized water pipe with a thread on it. I put this on there. So actually, you can take this off if you want it heavier. If you want it heavier, take this off, put your bar, have another bar that slides inside there. It's going to give you a few more pounds. If you're in frozen ground, you want it
I hope
heavier,
not.
you got some real solid rock, put another pipe in there. That's why I did it like that. So it's all what you invent. I'm just showing you the basics right now. But yeah, to start a hole, that's what I do. Either one of them, or have a guy with that shovel going around in a circle. like I said, this will cut through roots. You gotta be careful. I mean, you'll get the hang of it, but always remember you got a dog down in there too. So.
Right. Don't chop his head off.
Your terrier does not appreciate that getting stuck in the back of his neck.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna jump right there because as long as we're on there.
Can you take your mask off, Ted?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Tell me if I'm going too fast, if you got any questions. As long as we're on the tool thing, I might as well get this all over. I had this, I don't know if y'all read True Grit, but there's I'm putting a new section in True Grit that was in the last one. It's called Hunter's Hunting Tips. Now read that every time. There's going to be a few little tips every time, stuff that I can think about that just going to help us out in the field. You know, just people that you think about something, send it in to me, and I'll share it with everybody. But this is what I use. You can do 100 different things to sharpen shovels. This is the newest thing I use right here. I used to use a regular grinder, but it was taking too much material out there. Now I use this. It's got a sanding disc on there. It's a 60 grit sanding disc. You can buy these grinders anywhere. You know, you can buy them with cords on them. I use this. I bring it with me out in the field if I need to touch stuff up. You just take it. As simple as that. Get the edge you want on there. It won't heat it up so much because it's a sanding disc. And I found out this works the best for me. Take your file, carry that in your box. You get out in the field, you want to sharpen something up, just file it. The old-fashioned way. Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's stay on the tools. Want to talk about the Yoho? This is a Yoho.
Yo, when you're finally getting down closer to the terrier and you need to maybe clear some backfill, a lot of times groundhogs, badgers, more so in my area, will feel behind them. They're trying to escape and get away from the terrier. They'll be pushing dirt up behind them, and the hole that you previously knew where it was is getting all plugged up. And so a Yoho is a really good tool for probing the side of the hole that you have dug into to find the softer soil. And then you can push this in there and you can begin clearing it out. Like with this other one here, works really well for clearing some hole once you've located where it's at.
This is a homemade, they call it a homemade, it's a ho-ho. It's a little heavier. A friend of mine made them over there. You could scoop dirt out with this thing. So you can buy these. Some of these things you gotta make. And they do sell the ho-hos too, but you know, just some of the stuff's kind of hard to find.
Do they sell this?
Yeah, they sell it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you buy this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I thought they made it.
It's on a tracker site. I got it.
It's a little heavier than that, but this works. This'll draw the dirt out in some of the tight spots. Sometimes you're gonna have a big hole, you know, and the dog will move on. You guys pretty much know when it moves down the tube and you want to reach in there and grab some more dirt out, you're gonna have to use, your arm's not long enough, you're gonna have to use something. You don't really want to stick your hand in the hole either. I mean,
Oh, look, fresh meat.
They're good tools for clearing out a lot of backfilled dirt.
oh, another thing, I should have got this doing the clothes. Always when you're out there, make sure you got a pair of gloves, a good pair of gloves. You're gonna need them. You don't have to, these are leather. You can use leather, you can use these real lightweight gloves. Just bring a pair of gloves. You're gonna need them. You got brush out there, you got thicket, you know, you don't want to be reaching your hand in some spots that you're gonna have a problem. Flashlight. Always try to bring a flashlight. You never know. Sometimes you need to get down in that hole and look what's going on. Show your dog where to go. But always bring some kind of a light flashlight with you. While you're out there too, stay on this. Now, when you come to the end of the line, you've got the quarry trapped. You don't want to dispatch it. You want to get it out of the hole. And certain ways you want to do that. You never want to reach in your hand in there and just grab the quarry out. I think you guys are pretty smart enough to know that. These are what's called coon tongs, but they'll lock around a neck of a groundhog, coon, a possum, badger, a fox, anything you've got, these will work. They lock in, doesn't come out. Some people use snares. I don't know if you ever use a snare.
Occasionally.
Yeah, you got to be careful with
Tricky.
for me, with the snares, you got to be careful. I've had a coon get out of them because coons can move around a little bit. Groundhogs, they can't move around. Coons, you got to be careful. That's why they invented these. You guys want to look at them?
Where do you get something like that?
That's a good question. The guy that's all homemade stuff. They used to have a trapper store. The guy sold them, but he's no longer in business.
Did you make these?
No, I didn't make them. But there are people around that are making them. Them are hand-me-downs from. Them are probably 30 years old. A guy from Canada made them, and I called him up with that number on there, and he's retired. He's probably deceased by now. You can find people. I know there's people around that are making them, but they're not cheap. But you want to have a pair of them. You know, you should have something, a snare or something like that to help you along when you're, you know, you can get your terrier out of the hole too. I've hooked a terrier around his collar just to keep him from moving on. I mean, there's a few purposes for them things. You can grab them by the tail too. But, anything on this one? Now, when you're down in the hole, sometimes you're going to have roots. You got trees and stuff around you. You got brush. You want to cut. I use this. I carry this. It's just a battery-operated sawzall. Okay, the same battery fits on the sharpening tool. Fits on the sawzall. I take. You can buy these anywhere. Just a pruning blade. Buy them at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever. You put that on there, and that's going to help you on roots, overhead limbs, anything you want to get through. There's the old-fashioned way. I'll show you when I pull out my pack. There's hand saws and all that, but sometimes you're in a real woody area, and you know them hand saws will wear you out. This will get the job done quick. But you get, once again, always remember you got a terrier down in the hole. Be careful.
And they crawl up in some hollow cottonwood tree you're trying to get to. You don't want to saw your terrier's foot off trying to get in there.
This is more medical. So, when it's hot out, I brought a bunch of stuff along. It's probably not going in great order here. When it's hot out, 90 degrees out, you're hunting your terrier, you're going to get hot. Terrier's going to get dehydrated. We've used these all summer long. It's a cooling towel. You've all seen them. They're pretty new, but they work. Try them out when you're going out in the heat. Bring one of these along. Put it under your terrier's belly. If it gets too hot, gets dehydrated, you're going to want to cool your terrier off, cool you up. Just take some water and put it in there. Put it around your neck, whatever you want to do it. Trust me, this works. I've used them quite a bit this year. Handy tool. Always bring, another important thing to bring when you're out. Make sure you got water for you and your dog. The dogs will go down quick without water. There's hydration pills that you can take. You can buy these at anywhere. Pop one in a bottle. You can drink it. The dog can drink it. It really helps. Helps them stay hydrated. Protein bar. When you're out, you always want to have something. Sometimes you're out and you don't know how long you're going to be out. You know, when you start, you know, your blood sugar starts going down. Bring a protein bar along. You need something a little bit, just you and your dog. Stay active. Oh, anything to add, Mike?
Oh, for the dog, you could get like a little tube of Nutrical or something. Give them a little bit of a boost as well. If they've been out working for a couple of hours and they're looking a little weak, they need something like the protein bars that you would take.
Yeah, anything you want to add, Mike, go ahead. Now this is my hunting pack. Sometimes when I'm out, I can work close to the truck, but a lot of times I can't. When you work close to the truck, it's a lot easier. You know, you know how it is. You go right to the truck and grab it. Sometimes you gotta walk and you gotta have a pack. And you know, you gotta put the stuff in there that you could still carry because you know the thing gets heavy.
Yeah.
So you try to limit, you try to take the things that are necessary. This is a turkey vest. There's all kinds of hunting packs they make, but I found that you can use a backpack, there's 100 different things you could use. I found this to be what suits me the best. It's a turkey vest, you can buy them anywhere. And you know, you just put it on, you got all your stuff in there. It's light, comes on real easy, goes off real easy. Got all my stuff in there. You know, your locator box, everything that you need. I'll go through this in a second. Whatever's comfortable for you, but you'll need something sooner or later.
Ruby seen you put that on.
I wonder, you know what? That's why I got Ruby out. Another thing you're going to need when you get out in the field, I don't care who you are, your dog is going to get out there and not want to come to you and this and that, can't find it. I use this, a whistle, for recall. Recall, very important. You've all been out enough to know. There's a whole different story on how to train dogs for this. But sometimes if I can never whistle around a hole. That'll never happen. I wouldn't want to. But she's out in the woods or in the brush, I can't see her. And I don't know if she's in a hole. Where she's at, I can't find her. I lost sight of her. I give her a couple toots. She'll come running, and if she's not in the hole, she'll come running along. She's chasing deer, might be a different story. Try to get some kind of recall on your dog. That's very important. You know, the dog, if there's cattle, horses, that you know they're starting to run, you got to stop them. You don't want a big problem. There can be a lot of problems.
Do you treat her every time you whistle?
I'm sorry?
Do you treat her every time you whistle?
Yeah, well,
You have them with you.
what I do, like I say, it's a whole different story. What I do, and I was taught by Shatter Smith, I don't know if you know her, but she's old and wise. And actually, I have had some of her stock. Every time when the dogs were a puppy, get one of these whistles. It can be any kind of whistle you want. When they're puppies, and you put the bowl down to feed them, blow the whistle. Blow the whistle, feed them. Blow the whistle, feed them. Gets them ingrained in their head. Okay? They start growing up, they start growing out. Blow the whistle, give them treats. Or do it at dinner, anything you want. And you don't have to give them a treat every time, but
Right.
you know, they'll get the hang. You'll get. It's easier when they're puppies. When they're first start eating, you know, it's a lifetime thing. It lasts forever. But some are stubborn. Some won't come. And, you know, there's more important things to do than going that hole. You know, I can never whistle around a hole. But I just wanted to touch on the recall. The hunting pack. Get back to that. I carry everything in there. I carry some tie outs. Break this down with it. Here's another handy thing. These are nice and light. I'll pass these around. Sometimes it's although you don't need this big thing hanging around. You can use these. These are for cutting roots in a hole, brush overhead. They're nice and light. They're fiskars. They're really light to carry
They are
around.
light, aren't
They're beautiful. What else do I got?
they? Nothing.
Yeah, those are great. Sometimes the groundhog will have their set entrance right in the middle of a great big bush in a place. Or those of you in the right part of the country where you know what multiflora rose is, miserable to try to crawl through, you're going to need to clear a working space around that set entrance or wherever the terrier ends up. You're locating terrier and the entrance hole is over here and you locate the terrier in the middle of this patch of multiflora rose. It's not going to be fun trying to dig them up in the middle of that. So something like these fiskars will work really well to clear you a good working space around where you have to start digging.
Okay, another couple things I'll show you here. In my hunting pack that I carry, and everyone's different. Everyone's going to have their own idea what they want. Depends where you're hunting at. Depends what you're hunting in. what area you're at. You're gonna have to, you'll figure that out. You can't carry everything, but try to bring some stuff to help you and, save the terrier. Couple things I carry these little wire cutters. You have to cut a fence, not a farmer's fence, but a lot of times these sets will be along a fence route. And, sometimes that fence, it gets old, it gets down in there and gets caved in the ground, gets pushed in the ground. And you gotta cut through that stuff. I mean, you can't bite through it. Try to find some kind of little wire cutters to carry along. These are really nice. Pass them along, please. This, along the same lines, it's a little ratchet cutting for trees, for wood, for roots. That'll help you along.
And this is cutting what?
And then another thing,
Roots.
yeah, this is along them same lines about cutting wood and trees. This is just a little handsaw.
A little handsaw.
A little handsaw to have with you. They're really light, they don't take up much space. Pass that around too.
You need it?
I carry extra gloves in there, and you don't have to have a water bowl, but I carry one, just to have it in there. Extra collars and batteries I carry with me. One goes out, you're out there, you want to be able to replace it. Extra tie outs I carry. Extra leads. I say you can go on and really weigh this thing out, but Oh, another thing I carry, like I told you before. Always carry water. It's got a little compartment in there to put in. Always carry some kind of water with you. I think I've pretty much we talked about this before, but your dog's going to get in the ground and they're going to need their eyes flushed out. Always do this. You know what? They only got one set of eyes, and depends where you're at. It doesn't matter. Every time they go in the hole, I flush their eyes out. I just get used to it right from the start. But when you first put them in the ground, because it'll pay dividends later. You'll be able to see later on in life. I use this. I flush them out, and then this is called Vetricin Plus. It's a gel. It's an ophthalmical gel. When they're in the sandy stuff, after they're done for the day, or you're putting them up, it helps them. It coagulates any sand that you miss with that thing. And overnight, you'll see it in the morning. You'll have more. The stuff you missed, this will get out. It'll take care of it. It fills in the scratches. So this is good stuff. Vetricin Plus, ophthalmical gel. I highly recommend that. What else we got to say? Poison ivy, I don't know where you're going to hunt at, but try to, that's the worst thing. Your dogs are going to get an underbelly. You're going to be reaching around in the woods. You're going to get it sooner or later. Try to, I do oral ivy. I think you read the True Grit. It's something you take. This is just, I had it in my hunt bag. But if you know you're in it, and you're not taking any kind of medication, just put some stuff on there, because that's poison ivy, not fun. The new thing too, we kind of learned, you get into a skunk and you get sprayed. You're going to want to do something right away. And I'm not talking about the medical part, that's a whole different story. This is just for the smell on their fur. You take this, it's just Edge shaving cream, Edge gel. And you apply it to them, you lather it all over, let it dry, and then you can wash it off. Sometimes it might take a couple times, but we use it a couple times this summer, and it really works. I mean, there's other stuff you can use. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about skunks because I'll jinx myself, but there's this nature's miracle. There's a homemade recipe you can use to get rid of the smell. You know, with the baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, you know, there's a formula for that. And like Cheryl says, take the number to your vet along with you. Your emergency vet, if you're hunting in a different area, beforehand, before you get there, you can Google a vet that you can just write their number down or ask the farmer or whatever. I bring my little medical kit along with me. I don't carry it out in the field. I bring it in the trunk. It's not as extensive as Cheryl's, but I mean, it's got some stuff in there that you're gonna need. I think I've pretty much touched on anything. Is there any questions as we're going on?
Just giveaways, everybody's leaving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bars. Tip something.
Everybody's name in here?
I do that for a reason.
Exactly. What reason is that?
I don't want to sharpen them too much because it's the same way. You're reaching in the ground, you're gonna poke a dog. I mean, there's been some accidents. Accidents happen. You can feel the bottoms of the bars. I don't recommend them getting them razor sharp. I mean, you're gonna kill a dog.
Let's do the drawing.
Okay. Let's see. This is for that bar right there.
This?
Yeah. That's one of them.
That was compliments of Terry and Lisa.
Okay. This is
Michael Terry and Lisa Terry.
I don't have my glass.
Ryan and Betty.
Ryan and Betty.
At